do you want to try spinning around?
There's the seafloor.
Showtime.
Yeah, I think you got to tilt up quite a bit.
Is it everything you hoped it would be, Ray?
Sure. Doing its thing. What's our bearing going to be to the waypoint? Like 210 or something? 203, okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to come around. I'm going to sort of get into like actual where we're going to go position. 200-ish.
There's a trail for us, Josh. Something at the end of it.
Sure. I'm going to stay a little bit off for a sec. I'll slide over, launch my lateral over. Sure.
Just a quick reminder, guys, whenever you're set, we should grab our first Niskin bottom at the bottom for eDNA.
Okay, yeah, we'll just be a few more minutes.
Greta, what does the E stand for in eDNA?
So eDNA stands for environmental DNA, which is actually bits and pieces of animals that are sort of dissolved in the water, right? As we shed our hairs or bits of our skin, fish or corals, they do the same. They lose this organic matter that sort of gets dissolved in the water column, and that's what we are trying to capture by capturing water samples, right? That should include this eDNA or environmental DNA.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready for white balance when you are.
Okay. I'm gonna go zoom. Okay, and the ROV porch lights are off and the ROV lasers are off.
RV lasers off. You want that one off?
No.
No, you don't. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just on there, so. Okay. Okay, are you ready for it to go black for a short period?
Yep.
Okay. And here goes. Okay, awesome. And then I have to do auto white balance.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're good to go.
Okay. Well, let's come wide. Oh, sorry, and we want trigger Niskin?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I haven't really set up the valves or anything yet, so. Yeah. I think it is, yeah. Just tilt down a little bit. We're just going to go for, what are we doing, number 1?
Yeah, number 1 would do. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Done?
Number 1's triggered.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, our gauges look pretty good actually, eh? Can you see the other comp? Is it still visible? Just perfect. Sweet. Well, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'll get that out of the way for sure.
Look at that, there's a fish.
I'm gonna come down just a little bit. And I'm just gonna set up I want to set up the camera valves just a little bit before we get going.
Might want to change the ISO on the camera over there.
I swear these are reversed. Sure. Yeah.
Ooh, swimming sea cucumber.
Yep. Peniagone. The most common swimmer. There's a really nice fish out there in the distance too.
Can already tell this is going to be a fishy dive.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yes. Am I good to go back in auto XY? Yes. Yeah. Okay. That is painfully adequate. Okay. Ooh, more fish to go find.
I like this place already.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get the camera set up so it's
Yeah, no worries.
not too driving me crazy and nice and smooth. Okay, I think we're good on gauges and everything. Got all that checked. Okay, I think we're good. Gauges look good. We are at 3,002 meters. Camera set up as best I can at the moment. Lasers are on. Yeah, great. I think we're
Okay.
ready
Good
to
to
go.
go?
Yep.
Let's take a look at this fish.
Yeah, there you go. Zoom in.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't even have to move.
And that looks like Spectrunculus. So
It's a big belly.
Cool, yeah, that's a pretty big one.
What's its common name?
Oh,
The,
it's a cusk eel. I can't remember if this particular one has a common name. So many of these very deep living fishes don't have common names, or maybe only the group has a common name. Yep.
what does it eat?
These guys, not entirely sure.
And have we
Okay,
seen
well,
them
are you
before?
going to start moving the ship? Because
Yeah.
it's going to take a bit to get
Okay.
rolling. So
We've
yeah,
we've seen
yeah,
just a
3,000
couple of them
meters
on the
now. We're
expedition
like
so far.
10 minutes or something before we even. Yeah.
If we are kind of immobile while we wait for Atalanta to get some swing in it, Josh,
Yep.
there's a sea cucumber up there to the right we could take a look at too.
Okay. Okay.
It's another one of these
Sorry,
weird
I'll
kind
follow
of
you down.
troughs in the mud there. Some pretty impressive tracks and trails down here.
Zoom in, please.
What do you think could have caused them?
Probably things like these sea cucumbers, urchins, animals that we call deposit feeders. They just are trying to eat the detritus that accumulates on the seafloor.
You're pulling me around. now.
Yep. Get going.
Let me know if you want auto heading off to.
That's okay. Just gonna back up just a little bit. Oh.
Oh,
Ooh.
a little bit of thruster wash there.
Fish.
Very small fish.
Yeah, it's like just out of where I can reach right now.
Okay.
I'll come back this way, kind of get in a better spot. I'm sure we'll find some things to look at.
Ali and welcome. We are currently on our way to explore an unnamed seamount west of Babeldaob Island, just outside the boundaries of the Palau National Marine Sanctuary, which is mapped for the first time by EV Nautilus. This is a 20-hour dive with goals to survey the diversity and distribution of deep-sea benthic communities and look at the area's geologic features to better understand the age and volcanic history of the region. We are currently exploring the seafloor right now, and if you have any questions, any comments, we invite you to go on nautiluslive.org. Jeff, could you just talk about some of the things that we're hoping to find, any goals of this particular expedition?
Yeah, so this is the third dive of this leg, and we have been exploring seamounts that are to the west of the biggest island in Palau, Babeldaob. And these three seamounts, this is being the third one, are actually in the zone that is outside of the marine National Marine Sanctuary. And the goal here, this seamount's a little different than the last two. The last two were very conical, very volcano-looking features. This is a much more massive feature. It actually has sort of almost a bench, a change in slope as we get up towards 2,000 meters. And it has more of a ridge line on it. But the goal here is to explore a diversity of habitats as we move up the slope of this seamount, including sedimented areas like this. We're going to traverse part of a ridge up what might turn out to be a wall, and reach a small summit. There's many summits on this seamount, so it's one of them. And just try to get a decent inventory of a number of habitats and a great diversity of animals.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
What is that?
And that is Acanthonus armatus. It is a type of cusk eel. Max, do you want to gleefully share the name with us?
I believe the common name is the bony-eared assfish.
There you go.
Oh,
It has
interesting.
a spike on the side of its head, hence the bony-eared.
We'll zoom in, please.
And I have no idea where the other part of the name comes from.
Maybe someone got poked in the lab and was like, ah, while they were like examining it. Wow.
Ooh,
It looks like a
skittish.
tadpole.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come wide, please. Oh, picked up my old dirt again.
Oh, what was that?
Not sure if anyone else hears it, but I think the clicking noise is back.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is. You are also very quiet to me, Max, and I...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
very
odd.
quiet, Max.
Chris was saying that I was yelling in his ear, so
Yeah, like I almost feel like I'm just hearing you talk ambiently to me.
That's correct. I can't
Yeah.
actually hear you over my headphones.
okay. How about now?
That's
I
bad.
can hear you on my headphones now.
Yeah, a lot better.
Okay, I'll just project.
Yeah, don't use your ASMR voice, use your...
That's the only way to talk about Acanthonus.
I think we should probably just keep moving.
To the left, it looks like we have something. Yeah, right there.
There's a rock, I think. No?
That might be a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Can we take a look at
Sure.
that real quick?
Yeah, we'll zoom in, please.
Sea cucumber. No.
That is a sea cucumber.
It's a sea cucumber.
Wow.
That is a sea cucumber that seems to
Covered
maybe
in
have
seaweed?
decorated itself
That looks
with
like
bits
seagrass.
of seagrass.
We have
Yeah.
something... Oh, no,
How
never
is it
mind.
possible that
So-
seagrass?
Yeah, so this is a group of sea cucumbers typically in the genus Mesothuria, and they do this. They decorate themselves as camouflage, and they try to look like the background. This particular one has decided to pick too many pieces of seagrass, so it does not look like the background.
It's trying. It's
Yeah,
an
you
amateur.
Definitely cannot find seagrass at
Okay, we'll come wide, please.
30,000 meters.
Yeah,
But we
It's a
did think
hoarder.
it was a piece of wood, so...
yeah, yeah.
Looks like it's trying to stand out.
I'm going to ask that everyone just check their mic cable. Make sure that it's like not on your leg if you're bouncing it. Also make sure your phone is not on your mic cable. That could be causing interference. So you move your phone away from the cable. We'll see. Hopefully that will resolve it.
Can we take a look at these white things, Josh? There's been a few
Sure.
of them.
And that one? That's another one of those sea cucumbers.
Okay, we'll zoom in, please.
What are we looking at?
That thing right there. There's a number. They
Oh,
may be
Just above the
either-
lasers.
They may be part of feeding traces, or they may be a single-celled. Yeah, that's a single-celled protist called a xenophyophore, and they're multinucleates, meaning they have many nuclei, but they are still a single cell, and they create these structures out of grains of mud and sand, and they they apparently consume detritus on the deep sea floor. They're kind of like an amoeba that creates its own little house.
Cool. Now come
And
by,
in the
please.
deep sea, they can get quite large. They can get up over 10 centimeters.
Wow.
Oh, what is
Yeah.
it called again?
A xenophyophore.
Has that anything to do with stromatolites?
Stromatolites are a different group of microbes, we believe. Well, certainly the extant ones. Of course, there's fossilized ones we don't know so much about. But the extant ones, I don't believe, are related to these xenophyophores. That's bacterial, typically. And these are, yeah. There was definitely a fish out in front of us because I can see the cloud of mud from it taking off.
There it is, there.
There it is. And it's another one of the Acanthonus.
Might be the...
I wonder if it's the same
Could
one.
even be the same one.
Yeah. See that trace right over there? Remember
Yeah.
the last dive, Josh, when we tried to follow a track?
Yeah.
I think maybe this track actually has something at the end of it.
Oh, on the bottom part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that looks like maybe a sea urchin or something.
Okay, let's zoom in, please. Sea cucumber, maybe?
I can't tell just yet. Do we have any more zoom?
Yes.
Definitely seems to be what's making the track, but yeah, you can see the sediment in its gut, but am I looking at spines or tube feet on the bottom? Can we get closer to this, Josh?
Sure. Let's come wide for a sec.
Ooh.
Shoot. Not what I wanted to do. Okay, we'll zoom in.
Whoa. It looks like a perfectly round dough ball.
Oh, I'm getting
I
pulled.
don't
It does. Yeah,
Sorry, I just got pulled off there.
no worries.
Like a little tortellini.
I would have
can come
something
down
to
a
say
little
about
Yeah,
that.
I have to.
Like pasta.
What the hell is this?
It's an echinoderm, I can tell you
Yeah.
that, but it's almost looking as if it's an urchin, but I don't know how it would be translucent.
Yeah.
Right? It should
Alright.
have
And
some
this is
sort
why
of
I'm
a-
really curious in it.
Let's come
is-
wide
Skeleton.
again for a sec.
Yeah. A viewer has contributed. It's something, all right.
Oh.
Oh, wow. It's made quite the journey, it seems, from all the tracks.
There are, in the shallow waters of Palau, some sea cucumbers that are quite round in shape.
Okay.
So I wouldn't exclude that, but clearly I'm not the expert in deep sea animals here. So.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting a little behind here, so I'm
Oh.
might have to
Mansell, have you ever
Okay.
seen
kick off here, sorry.
Okay.
anything like this?
So, elder Palauan women, when they go collecting sea cucumbers, and one thing that they do, I don't know if this is true, but they cut the sea cucumbers into, like say one sea cucumber, they would cut it into like 3 pieces and throw them back in the water. And they say that they'll grow back into 3 different ones. And when they do, it's shaped like a ball, basically. And then it starts growing again from there. So, but I don't imagine that someone came down here and did that. Is that true, Greta? If you cut a sea cucumber and throw it in the water, it'll grow two separate ones?
I didn't know that. I'm not sure.
Ah.
Perhaps because a lot of the echinoderms have the capability, like the sea stars, some
Mhm.
species, if you cut one arm off, they're able to regenerate the whole body from
Right.
their own arm.
Yeah.
But so potentially it could be.
Yeah, so that's kind of a traditional thing that women do when they go and they collect sea cucumbers from the ocean. They know that it takes a while for them to repopulate, so they would cut. I don't know if that's
Whoa.
just
Definitely.
specific species or all of them.
That might just be a rock I pointed out there, Josh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I would love to see another one of those
Yeah.
funky sea urchin things.
Try-
I keep
try and
looking
get-
at the ends of these tracks because they were
I'll
hard
try and
to
get up
see.
ahead, and then that will give me a bit more time to
Yeah.
settle down there.
So I think we might have to do a bit of a witch hunt here and just have people one by one mute their mics. We're okay with that?
Sure.
Can we just start with you, Dan? You just keep your mic muted for a minute or two.
Yep.
Right up there.
Okay, Dan, I think you're good.
Check that out first. There's something off to the left as well, so we might want to stop here for a second.
Okay. You'll zoom in, please.
This looks like a sea cucumber called a Nerophonta. It has lots of very long little cirri that come off the back. And
What
believe
are
it or not, amongst sea cucumbers, this is the race car of sea cucumbers.
Race car.
Yep.
Why do you say that?
Probably moves at least a centimeter a minute.
Centimeter a minute. That's fast.
We've done time-lapse photography on the abyssal seafloor, where we take
Okay,
a
we'll come
picture
on,
every
please.
20 minutes,
Mhm.
and you can put those together as a movie,
Sure.
and these cams just come zooming through. Just to the left, there's another. Keep going a little bit more to the left,
Yeah.
or actually that animal right there. But
Yeah.
there's another one even farther to the left as well. There's a few things right here.
Okay, we'll zoom in, please.
But a Nerophonta is fast compared to many others. This looks like some sort of a burrowing anemone.
A burrowing anemone.
Uh-huh.
How do they dig?
Well, I think it comes from the fact that they seem to live in tubes that are in the sediment. I don't know that they actually burrow. That's great. Let's
Okay,
go to
come
the
wide,
left.
please.
So Amanda, you asked me yesterday if we have anemones that are significant to our culture, and I was talking about the one that women eat in Palau, a termal, and they kind of have that tube that I said was a root in my limited knowledge in sand when they grow.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing and for bringing that up.
We missed it, I think. No, there you go.
There we are. This is the one that we frequently see swimming. This is Peniagone Amperima complex. The species are
Okay, we'll
in those
zoom
two
in, please.
genera are hard to distinguish. It's got that big velum, the sort of flap over the top of its head on the left there that it uses to lift itself up in the water column. You can see all the little tube feet around its mouth, and that's what it's exploring the sediment with to pick up the particles of detritus that it eats.
What's on top of his head?
Can we turn the lasers off for just a second?
Sure.
And yeah, it looks like it has a little amphipod crustacean as a hitchhiker on its back right now.
Oh, what is that? The crustacean.
So amphipods, people might be
Okay, we'll come
familiar
on, please.
with going to the beach and turning over seaweed at the beach, and little animals will hop away. Beach hoppers, those are amphipods. And in the ocean, there are many, many different varieties deeper down, and that's just a representative. Not hopping anymore, but many species live in the sediments, actually on the bells of jellies in the water column. They live in a number of different places.
Awesome, thank you.
That
And,
just looks like a chunk
Josh,
of rock
when you
or
have a
something.
moment, if you could just
Oh,
mute your mic
up
for
to,
a
if you
second.
go a little bit more to the left, there's a really big sea cucumber. We can see it in the stills camera.
I think we may have
Straight
found our
ahead.
culprit. Sorry, Josh.
Who was the culprit?
I think it might be Josh's microphone's got an issue.
His
Oh,
fancy
no.
headphones.
Maybe
Okay.
just unplug it and plug it back in, Josh. And hopefully it will resolve itself.
Yeah, we'll zoom in, please. Maybe that's why I can't hear the noise.
There you go.
You haven't been able to hear it this whole time?
No, it's been fine for me the whole time.
Oh.
Thank you, Max, for your detective skills.
This is Benthidites. We've seen this one shallower as well, up at around 2,000 meters. This might be a different species in the genus, but
Yeah, this one looks like an octocoral.
Okay, we'll come wide, please.
yep. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
It's a shadow of a fish.
Always the same. He's following
Another
us.
Acanthonus. Yep, we can skip that guy.
Okay.
Another Amperima. We can keep going. A lot of xenophyophores. These little white, almost leaf-like things sticking up out of the mud.
This one?
Yeah, can we check out this? This might be Umbellula or something like that.
I'm just going to
Am I
look down
doing
at the
it?
tether. I think we got a loop.
Oh, we do have a loop. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll zoom in, please.
Yep, that's what we have, Umbellula.
What is this
Great.
one? Octocoral?
Uh-huh. Yep, very
Okay, we'll
common
come-
in sedimented areas.
Come wide, please. I just might have to do a little tether management here
Okay.
real quick. I think I might do that spin, except I'm going to go the other way this time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Will that not just make it worse?
Is that going to make it worse?
I think that made it worse.
Okay, yeah. That's weird.
Just come.
Yeah, come down a little bit. I'm gonna go down. You can go up if you want.
Okay, yeah, I would like to go up.
Drive ahead a little bit.
we go.
I actually didn't do anything. I just pulled.
Yeah. Oh, and I just came up
Yeah, okay.
too, so.
I think we're good there. Solve the problem early so it doesn't become a bigger one later. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Back on.
Okay. Is that something right there?
Do you want lasers back on?
Yeah, please. Just curious about.
Yeah, let's try to back up here a little bit.
Okay. That pink one over there is Paleopatides, probably.
Okay, we'll zoom in, please.
What are we going for zoom on here?
Right where the lasers are.
Oh.
I have no idea what that is.
Man, it's so well camouflaged, it fooled me.
I can't tell if it's just a clump of detritus or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, come on,
I
please.
wonder this seagrass, if it really is seagrass and
Oh yeah, probably.
it gets
just
to these
detritus.
depths.
Yeah. We saw so much of this when we were doing the slope of the Palau Trench on the east side. There was leaves, seagrass, branches, a lot of material from the islands.
So it comes from the shallow, not from here.
Definitely.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just surprising that doesn't get degraded before reaching these depths.
I think the thing is it sinks pretty fast.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once it leaves the surface water, it sinks pretty quickly and ends up down here as a pretty important food source.
I wonder if seamounts that are very, very far from land, they wouldn't have this food source, this additional food source, right? So
We're tens of miles away. I can't remember exactly how far to the west of Babaldob we are, but it's quite a ways from the edge of the reef.
Yeah, I was thinking the previous dive that you were mentioning in the trench we were only about 5 miles
Yeah, that
offshore.
one was
I
really
think we're
close.
closer to 30 or something today.
So actually this was seamount, though it's much closer than the last two we just
It
visited.
is,
That's
yep.
perhaps why we see some land derived debris. Sea cucumber.
Is that another one of the Amperima?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, it is. Okay. And there's another Paleopatides. Josh, should we try for another sea cucumber capture?
We could. We should stop the ship if we're going to do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
We're kind of getting an idea that these are a couple of very common ones here. So, and we've got 3.
Which one? You
So-
got 3 options there.
Yeah, it would be great to go for this Paleopatides, the
Okay.
smooth topped one.
Yeah.
And I think it would also be useful to get one of the Peniagone. The Peniagone ones are going to be harder because they're going to want to swim away.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
So if you want to go for that one first, actually, I don't know. I was just
I'm
thinking
wondering
that the
about-
Paleopatides you could put in the box and then leave the box open and get the other one. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Well, I'm wondering. I think we've actually like slurped them.
Oh,
like
do you think
right
they'll
into
fit?
like right into the jar. Well, because I think they do kind of like because they're so full of water, they do squish down.
Would slurping them like kind of harm the integrity of them?
It hasn't really in the past because they sort of like, once they get disturbed, they kind of like shrink up and then they tend to
Let's
just
give
be
it a
full
shot.
blob. I mean, we could try.
No, you have collected more of these than probably anybody else in the room. So,
It would be the safest spot for it too.
Is this another one of those swimming sea cucumbers?
yeah, the ones with the sort of the velum, that flap on the heads, they swim. The other one might have the capability of swimming, but we don't regularly see it do it.
So why don't, do you want to get the arm out?
Yeah.
Sure that it's actually working. Okay, porch out a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. No, you're gonna land, right?
I'm gonna creep up on it real slow.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn this down quite a bit to start.
Yeah.
Because if I want to stop, I don't want to. I don't want to have it get stuck in there.
What's the significance of sampling these sea cucumbers?
Just to have some vouchers of the things that we're seeing very commonly on the seafloor here, so that we can say with some confidence what they actually are.
What's going on here?
This is gonna go into sample jar 1.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. Turn it down a little
Which
bit.
genus are we targeting first? Is the Peniagone?
I think Peniagone,
Peniagone.
the one on the right there.
So
We're going
I
for
think.
the right one.
That's
right,
up,
and the
that's
one in
up
the middle.
to that's up
Okay.
to you. What you want to do
It's,
first? You're gonna go for the middle one first.
yeah.
Okay, that's Paleopatides.
Here,
So
I
they-
have to come up on Atalanta.
Paleo.
Got the tether in the butt.
All right. Noel, do you?
I'm going to be coming down, so because I'm like 5 meters off.
Okay.
So they tend to like just kind of drift away like very easily.
Yeah, okay. You want me to get out in front with
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're pretty good there. That's probably that's good. Yeah, just wait for me. Wait for me.
I don't think that's gonna go in the slurp gun.
Okay. Well, we can try picking it up anyway.
Oh.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, that's a good. This is good. Okay, we're gonna put it in the forward box just like this.
It looks so...
I'm gonna turn down just about. We're at 20%.
This is its first time ever experiencing anything like this.
Can it fit?
Okay, I'm gonna retract.
Yeah, retract.
Yeah, retract. Should retract. And we're gonna forward box open.
Can you tilt the
Yep.
camera up a bit?
So nice and slow movements, real slow movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this okay to go in Omega?
Sure, anywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything's open.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
There you go. Yeah. Let it go.
Okay, give it a little, yeah,
There you go.
little evisceration event there. Okay, I'm gonna close the box. And I'm gonna run this pump a little bit more.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
possible,
sorry,
on the next
jaw
one.
rotates very spicy.
Yeah, but it's proportional though,
Yeah.
right? Because if you just slam it, it'll go. But if you just barely touch it, it'll go super slow.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Jeff?
If possible, let's try a little less suction
Suction,
force on the next one.
Well, so we should try to get the next one on the side, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
If we're not suctioning it up, I think just to hold it on the side is better.
Sure.
Sorry, I have to reposition.
And you want to try
my-
put it in the same box, possibly?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted a better grip on it this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up just a little bit. And one thing I'm gonna do before we start, give me 1 sec.
And we'll go back to flush jars so we're not.
Sure.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And
You
here
wanna
I
go?
can-
You wanna go for the side of this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how we've been
Doing it
getting
before?
them lately, if we're just using suction to pick them up.
Sure.
And I'm just coming down a little bit on Atalanta, so you.
Okay.
Okay. Is that a good spot for you?
Yeah, I think so. Just gonna go real slow.
Yeah.
Okay. Try that, hopefully.
You got it.
Probably need a little bit
A little
more.
bit more. Yeah, I was bumping it up there a bit. Okay.
Okay.
Give you a little bit more, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna open. That's spicy. Just 1 sec.
Does this want to go in same one?
No, you can do the
Yeah.
same one, sure.
Okay. Let's see if I can tilt
Oh.
down. Oh, sorry.
You're gonna have a hard time that way.
Yeah.
Might.
Oh, I can go this way. Oh.
Yeah, you just have to go real slow. Yeah, and then rotate. Well, you have to, yeah. You're either gonna have to go like this,
Yeah.
or you're gonna have to go to sideways and then rotate.
Can you give me a better view of my
Sure.
manipulator? Just a little. I just need to. Yeah. There we go. Okay. and
Menzel, what are some of your
very
thoughts, like
slow.
witnessing this, seeing the sort of biodiversity of sea cucumbers, which are so significant to
Sorry,
your
the other
culture?
one.
So I've actually been getting a lot of private messages about them. A lot of people are
There we go.
Yep, nice.
almost like
Okay.
in
Okay,
disbelief that
try
these
that.
are
Let
called
go.
sea cucumbers because
It's off.
they are a significant part of our
Okay. Get it out.
animals that we consider as food. So it's just surprising to a lot of them that there's a wide variety of them that exist in our waters. And Greta,
Nice.
so I got messages from some experts on land saying that only some of them can regenerate, not all.
Yeah, I would have imagined so. Like only some sea stars can
Yeah.
do that as well. Not everyone has superpowers.
Right.
And are we collecting a third one or?
Nope, that's
Okay,
good.
That's
Thank you both very much.
yeah. No worries.
Beautiful.
Let's keep heading uphill.
Props to Rye
Copy
and
that.
Josh.
Okay.
Nav, those samples were 035 and 036.
So Dan, I just wanted to let you know that your paw has given us such a generous blessing. He said, "Hi crew, 98-year-old Dan sends his best wishes to all the members of the Nautilus team and a special thanks and hello to the crew members from Palau." I really like that he specifies that he was the 98-year-old Dan. That's very sweet and so generous.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
We have a viewer asking if it's possible to pickle sea cucumbers. The way we eat them in Palau, it's similar to pickling, but it doesn't last that long, and it's in its raw form. It's not cooked or boiled. But some people eat it fermented, and that may be similar to pickling. And what they do is they keep it in a glass jar, like a mason jar, for a long period of time, and it's usually at the discretion of the person who's going to eat them. So, yeah, and the fermented sea cucumber are not it's an acquired taste. I'll just say that.
Is there vinegar or anything like that added, Manzel, or is it just
Seawater. They
just
keep it in
seawater
seawater
and sea
they
cucumber?
they ferment it, and with no heat at all. Just seawater in a mason jar.
That's cool. Do you eat that with like rice or like a starch, like taro?
Taro, like the giant taro is the most favorite one. And how they do, like when it's ready to eat, they would take it out, and it looks like it keeps it its integrity, and then they would like use a spoon to like stir it, and it would just break apart into like a soup base.
Wow, that's so cool. Thank you.
There's all these little sand mounds.
Lots of sand mounds. These are probably echiuran and sipunculin worms. And you can see like some of the holes, it looks like there's spokes radiating out from the center hole, and that's from where this worm has put its feeding appendage out on the bottom and collected all the detritus and brought it back in to its burrow and eaten it.
Incredible to think about how much life is hidden in these sediments.
So much.
What's that?
Yeah, right. Sorry, it's a little bit behind us. Josh, did you see that down there? It's almost reflective.
Oh, zoom in, please.
Snail? What is this?
Wow. It's like, it looks like mother of pearl.
Yeah.
It does. Looks like a
bivalve.
shell.
Could that be some kind of mollusk or?
I think it looks almost like a brachiopod, actually. It's got that like ridge in the center of the shell.
Could be. Yeah, it does. It has a hinge left and right.
What's
How exciting.
a brachiopod?
The heart of the ocean.
A brachiopod is like, clams are like...
That's a clam shell.
I
Or a
don't know.
brachiopod shell.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Come away, please.
So pretty.
But a brachiopod is like a clam, and it's just like a lot of other mollusks, but it is not a mollusk, and it's in fact its own phylum, which I think is cool.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, they look like bivalves, so those like sort of clams, but they don't have valves. Like they just have one piece of shell.
Cool.
They cannot open up.
I think they can open a little bit.
Yeah, but the hinge is different, I believe.
Yeah.
Ali, and welcome to our viewers. We are currently on our way. We are currently exploring an unnamed seamount west of Babeldaob Island, just outside the boundaries of the Palau National Marine Sanctuary, which was mapped for the first time by EV Nautilus. This is a 20-hour dive with goals to survey the diversity and distribution of deep-sea benthic communities and look at the area's geologic features to better understand the age and volcanic history of the region. If you have any questions, any comments, please send them over on nautiluslive.org.
Oh, there's an Ipnops fish right there on the left. Can recognize them from a long ways away because of those eyes.
Zoom in, please.
What's special about their eyes?
You're about to see.
Ooh.
It is amazing.
Whoa.
The whole top of their head is a pair of eyes that has no lenses. They focus no light. They are just incredibly good light detectors. So they're probably observing bioluminescent flashes.
Luminescent. It looks
That's
like there's
great.
Oh, come wide, please.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Would you say this is too much light for it?
Yeah, it probably wasn't happy right then, but it'll be okay in a little while.
Okay.
It's just like, so much input.
Another small fish.
Yeah, we'll zoom in, please.
That's a rat tail.
Is this one that we've seen before?
Yeah, we'll come wide.
I'm not sure yet.
What are some of the rat tail's defining characteristics that allow you to tell?
To distinguish different species?
Mhm.
Yeah. They're very hard to identify from video. The things I'm looking for externally are whether there are scales on the snout, the placement of the dorsal fin, the tall fin, the length of the body, sort of the body proportions. On the belly of the fish, in some species, there's a little light organ, a photophore.
Mhm.
But the keys are usually based on things like how many rays there are on the gill flaps, what are called branchiostegal rays, and what are the teeth shape like on the top jaw, and characters like that, which you just can't use in video, unfortunately. It does make it pretty important that when you see a common looking one to try to collect one, though, because then you can tell what it actually is and identify it. And that will enable us to evaluate how similar or how different the fauna in Palau is to other areas that have been explored in the Pacific. The Philippines, the Mariana Islands, other places where we have other collections and more data.
Awesome, thank you. So we have a question in the chat. Menzel, I think you would be good to answer this. Are there earthquakes in this area?
Not in modern times. We are located just between the Asia and Pacific plate, on top of, I believe, Caroline plate. And I think the biggest kind of thing that we felt was when the volcano erupted in Tonga. Not everyone felt it, but people who were still and kind of were grounded, felt something, but most of the time we don't really feel anything. We don't even get, when we do get tsunami warnings when there's earthquake in other places, but we don't get really, only natural disasters that we get are typhoons.
Thank you.
Yeah, usually earthquakes come from tectonic plate movement, not from volcanic activities. But the activity of the tectonic plate here in Palau stopped 20 million years ago. So
weird
there
thing
shouldn't
sticking
be
up
any
from the
earthquake,
sand
even
on the
though
left there.
nearby countries
Almost looks like bones.
are still active. And so the risk of tsunami can still be in place from these other
Zoom in,
locations.
please.
Thank you.
We've got a small anemone to the left here on the rock, and the things that I initially saw, the white leaf-like things sticking up, those are the xenophyophores. Can we take a look at the anemone right there?
Yep.
shell.
Yeah, a little shell down there.
You can push it some more.
Yeah. I don't think we can see that in the
That's
camera.
nice footage there. Since we are stopped, Josh,
Yeah.
is there any chance that this rock, we might be able to find a piece of this?
Okay, we'll have to stop the ship.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you'll have to move it back quite a bit. It will come wide, please. Which, just something?
Yeah, let's see here. What are our... If we tilt the camera down just a little bit, is there anything we think we might be able to pick up or break off down here?
Maybe.
Something off of that, perhaps, or... Yeah. Open to suggestions. If nothing looks doable, just say so.
Yeah, it's just hard to tell until I start poking around.
Okay.
Maybe something.
We see this on the left-hand side there again. There's an interesting structure in the sand. It's like a collection of little things poking out.
Where do you see it, Max?
It's just outside of frame now, to the left though.
Okay.
Your other left.
Oh, I'm gonna look at the arm. We'll get there.
Focusing on rocks. That's a good thing. Whoa, that's pretty crumbly right there.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to what we were looking at, Jeff, yesterday from the lounge. When it rested, it kind of cracked.
What kind of rock could this be?
Well, it looks like all carbonate crust from the piece that broke off. Or not carbonate crust, I mean manganese crust.
Can you zoom in, please? Yeah, that's...
Yeah, yesterday we were kind of surprised because the rock we collected at the bottom of the seamount, which looks like a volcano, we thought would be basalt, but it turned out to be carbonate. Oh. So we were talking with Daniel some more, and we really just wanted to make sure we got some sort of rock from down near the bottom of this seamount, and also again at near the top, which will help us better understand a little bit more. Oh, that whole thing is just free.
That'd be a little big.
Yeah. Might have to reballast the ROV.
I was tempted to do that, but I was pretty sure it's going to be kind of big.
That's
Oh, it's the
carbonate.
same.
That's
It's the same.
Look at it. It's white in the inside.
It's like it looks like the same one that they collected yesterday. It was like a mudstone.
It does.
Is that of interest to collect, or?
Yeah, it is, just to have some evidence of this. It's really deep for carbonate, so it's kind of fascinating.
But I think this is similar to the sand that you see. That gets encrusted with manganese over time.
Yeah.
Because when we were looking at the sample yesterday, it's pretty
I'm
much
pulling on you.
really like the same substrate.
Yeah,
It's all
you have
around.
to waiting for the ship to
Sort
back
of
up.
gets this build up of a crust around it.
You can come down.
I'm only 9 meters above the seafloor, so
Yeah.
if you want me to, go.
Come a little bit, a couple of meters. Hopefully it'll swing back.
So, Josh, you said that these formations were kind of crumbly. How much pressure can the arms exert?
Uh,
How much force?
like it'll move the vehicle before, like it can exert quite a bit of force. But it's because it'll more move the vehicle around, so you're just kind of pushing the mass of the vehicle around. But it's hard to put a number exactly on how much force it's doing.
Thank you.
There's a piece. Great. Can we hold that right there for a second?
Yep.
Greta's getting a still image, and then if we can, after that's done, if we can just spin it so we can see all the sides.
Here, I can give you a better shot in the still if you
That'd
want.
be great.
Just a second. Seems like
Great. No, that's all we need.
it's not very in focus,
Oh, okay.
I can go further away. Does that help?
maybe.
The light, maybe?
I think the camera might have this focus problem again. Better, yeah, but still.
Can you change the focus mode to center?
It
don't
is
know.
already.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank
Let's
you.
put it back in the video camera and spin it around,
Okay.
and then we'll drop it in one of the boxes.
So, Jeff, you said it was kind of
Great.
surprising to find like
Okay.
Carbonate.
Come wide, please.
this deep. Why do you find that surprising?
Well,
going for
all
starboard
of our
box?
Yeah,
listeners should
so-
keep in mind that
Okay.
I'm a
Tilting
fish
up.
guy, and I'm trying to talk
Yeah.
about geology. So if there's anyone out there who knows a bit more about the geology of the Palau region, by all means, they should be entering some comments in the chat. This is very deep. We're at 3,000 meters, and typically carbonate forms from reefs and the buildup of reef material, and so it's typically found on the tops of seamounts,
Yep.
or it's found at great depths at places where those seamounts have subsided.
Look at those letters.
Look at those letters. Wow, they
Damn.
pop, really.
Those letters are
Who did
so
those?
good.
So I'm not a geologist either, but deep sea carbonates can also be originated by this sediment that you're seeing,
Yep.
which is the result of the deposition of thousands of years of tiny skeletons of little planktonic animals that live in the water column. And so this, all
Okay,
this
we
sand
can
that we
close
see has some carbonate in there. And there's other ways for
Was that
the
C?
That was D.
carbonate
D.
to exist in the
The
deep
back,
ocean, which
very
is
back, small
usually
Thank you.
close to features like hydrothermal vents, and that with the chemical reaction they can produce carbonate-like substances and and
Yeah.
rocks.
I always try to be nice to the next
vents
boxes
are-
when you get an easy
the vents
small one. You
usually
always put it
doesn't
in the
produce
hardest box,
enough
and then you leave the other ones
To
open.
make a whole mountain.
You would think that
Um,
would be common courtesy.
You'd
And
think.
yes, we
That's
do
not.
have, like the cliffs of Dover, places like that are not from reef material, but they are from coccolithophores, planktonic organisms that have carbonate
It's really
skeletons
crumbly.
that fall to the seafloor and build up over many millions of years and get compacted into basically chalk.
Yeah, that's all. That's all
Okay.
carbonate there too.
So it is possible for there to be some other mechanism by which these are being formed. So totally agree with Greta there. Just not exactly sure what that is.
Right? Yeah, that would be for the experts
Yep.
to figure out.
Okay. Is that We're happy with that?
That does it. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, did you want to look around at something that was over to the left?
Yeah, let's do that since we're stopped. And I think Max was curious in this structure of things protruding from the sediment there.
Interesting.
I don't know if it looks like anything, but thought it was worth zooming on.
Looks like a little fairy ring.
See if I can just kind of
A
pivot
fairy
here.
ring. Wow.
It's a mini Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Shrimp Stonehenge.
Shrimp henge.
I'm not sure how well a solar clock would work down here, though.
Maybe they just guess.
It's working right now.
Yeah, right now.
The time is just the end of the world.
It was foretold in the shrimp scrolls.
Sorry, is that, you got that?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's zoom in and see what we can see.
I can extend a bit. That's all the pan right I've got.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. I went too far.
Went too far.
If you pull back, it'll...
That's pretty good right there.
Alright. Tilts up. Why are these controls so...
Well, we're so zoomed in, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They look like tubes of sediment.
Yeah.
I do not know what would make those. Okay. Is that good, Max?
I'm sure. I don't know.
All right. Let's
Okay, we'll come
let's
wide.
zoom out and head on our way.
We came, we saw, we left.
Another bit of seagrass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or maybe a stick or something. Yeah.
That's probably an anemone.
Oh, that looked like another one of those rings of little sediment tubes.
Alright.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that's Umbellula. We've seen those before. We can keep going.
Maybe we're documenting an ancient shrimp civilization.
So it's really funny that you say that, but there is a viewer who, I guess every time they see a shrimp, they send a message that's just shrimp and then plus plus. Every time for the past few days.
What's the count? All right, get Herc back out in front here again.
May is rubbing off on me. Every walk we, or every rock we go by, I'm like, let's just smash it open and see what it is.
It really is hard to know what is in these rocks because after thousands, millions of years, they get coated with this manganese crust, and they all start to look the same. You really do have to break them open. There's a shrimp.
Shrimp plus plus.
Oh, another one of those tiny sand tubes cities.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to dig.
That gets messy really fast.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
The sediment is very fine and takes a long time to settle back down.
So to our new viewers, I just wanted to say Ali and welcome. We are currently exploring an unnamed seamount west of Babeldaob Island, just outside the boundaries of the Palau National Marine Sanctuary, which was mapped for the first time by EV Nautilus. This is a 20-hour dive with goals to survey the diversity and distribution of deep-sea benthic communities and look at the area's geologic features to better understand the age and volcanic history of the region. If you have any questions, any comments, please send them over on nautiluslive.org. I also want to just extend a special shout out to all the way in the Philippines. My dad is watching, and hi Dad, I hope you've been having a good time. Time. He just went golfing today. And he was just like, I'll watch after.
It's a clean sand here.
Lots of little shrimp henges.
Yeah.
Could it just be something that's like partially buried under the sediment, or
It could be.
tube worms?
Or it could be some sort of feeding trace for an organism.
Mm.
Is that something out there, Josh? Is it just a bit of detritus? Oh, there is something up there, though.
I think it's the same corals as before.
And we'll zoom in,
Maybe
please.
this is something
Yeah, the
different.
thing right close to us, I don't know. The farther thing out is another one of the umbellula.
Yeah. Sea cucumber.
I think that's the sea cucumber that is accumulating all of the junk around it. Yep. Mesotheria.
So how do they attach that stuff to themselves?
I don't know.
Come a little
I
water.
don't know the mechanism.
And see if we can get this umbellula. There it is. Or no, that's oh yeah, that is an umbellula.
Many animals do that. There's also an urchin, which is very popular in Palau as a food
It will zoom
in
in, please.
Palau, which is called the decorator urchin, and it does the same. It covers himself up with pieces of seagrass, actually. So, and yeah, and also the decorator
My
crab
bad.
I was talking about the other day.
Okay,
And
come wide,
the
please.
urchin, I think it does that through some tiny peduncles he has on his skin, but I'm not sure. So if any expert has any suggestion on that, but I'm sure about the crabs that they have some special hairs where they can stuck all these bits and pieces.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if they have any tiny little fashion shows on the seafloor.
They should, they should.
What do you see there, Greta?
I don't know. It's something.
It'll zoom in, please.
Sure is.
Look at the sunburn.
Different from the rest of the sand, probably. It's just nothing, but yeah, nothing. I think we
Okay.
can move on.
Okay, we'll come wide, please.
I wonder with those
Maybe there.
sea cucumbers that use the
No?
seagrass,
Yeah, seagrass.
I wonder if they can all, is it just bio seaweed or something like that, or can they, because I've seen the sea urchin that you're talking about,
Oh,
Greta.
let's check this out right here. We have seen a number of these before, this trench, and there seems to be an interesting shrimp that lives in the side of these, and I would just like to check out this trench. Sorry, Mansell, didn't mean to interrupt, but
Okay.
wanted
zoom
to
in,
stop the
please.
vehicle there.
No problem.
Can you say that one more time about the seagrass?
Some of the, I wonder if they only use like bio stuff to like cover themselves, because some of the sea urchins I've seen at least one that used the plastic to like cover itself, like a piece of Klondike bar wrap, and I wonder if they only use like seagrass, or if they can attract trash as well.
I've definitely seen decorator urchins in Hawaii with trash on their bodies, and these guys down here, I do not know. Fortunately, we have not seen too much in the way of macroplastics, but I'll presume there's probably a fair bit of microplastics in the mud. That's been found in a number of places now in the deep sea. And look, there is a little
Okay, we'll
shrimp
zoom
in
in,
there.
please.
A shrimp.
There it is. Okay, so these little shrimp are making these little trenches.
That's
I
a
would
big trench.
Isn't it? It's quite an engineering project for that shrimp.
You got any
So
more
there's-
zoom, or is that all we got?
There's
We're
shrimp
full zoom.
Grand Canyons,
Full zoom,
there's
yeah.
shrimp henge. There's busy shrimp down here in the abyss.
Yeah.
So is that just pull water down, like through and food? Like,
I am presuming that this might act as a depot so that, you know, the very light detritus raining down, you can kind of see it as a slightly darker brownish kind of material to the left of the trench. I'm guessing that that causes that to kind of accumulate in this trench, and then the shrimp can eat it. And it probably also provides some protection. And the shrimp is backing
That's
away,
such a massive
coming out.
trench for it to me.
that is
Yeah,
huge.
so
Like-
we did collect one of these shrimp, so we don't need to do that again, but I just wanted to see if that in fact was the situation here too. So that's great.
Cool.
Do we have any more zoom at all?
We do
I
not.
think that's it.
Okay.
I could
Yeah.
try and creep. I could
No, it's
shift
okay.
up if you want.
No, it's okay. Great, thanks.
Okay,
Let's
come
keep going.
wide, please. All right, we'll get the ship back moving again.
It's like, this is my trench. Stay away.
Huh, that is wild. I've never seen that before.
Before this cruise, I hadn't either.
It's just chilling out. What could form these trenches?
No, that's the shrimp.
That's a shrimp?
The shrimp.
Making
Shrimp
the
dug- yes, we think that the shrimp is digging the trench.
Wow.
So there's a Palauan proverb that goes, you live your life like a shrimp or a lobster, because they usually live in these elaborate homes or habitats, and they don't really serve a purpose for them in our understanding. So if you live an elaborate life for no reason at all, you live your life like a shrimp or a lobster.
Huh.
Culture.
What a
Alright.
proverb. That's great.
Here we have an update from Kenneth Sulak about the carbonate that we were talking about. So he's saying that at 3,000 meters depth, we are getting close to the isocline or the calcium carbonate compensation depth of 3,500 meters, where carbonate tends to dissolve due to pressure effect because of the
Yep.
chemistry of the water. At this depth, biogenic carbonate particles raining from the surface and mid-waters cannot really accumulate because they simply dissolve. So he says that they leave behind more rarefactory minerals such as clay and silica, I would say.
Yeah.
But let's see what he adds. If he has
Yeah.
Fish coming up.
That's a halosaur coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really true, and it's why another part of the reason why I'm surprised at carbonate at these depths is that, it probably didn't form at these depths. It had to have formed at some shallower depth, and this must be sort of subsidence. We just expected that this being sort of what we call the back arc of the trench, and because the previous two seamounts we dove on were very conical and volcano-looking, we assumed that they were basaltic volcanoes arising from back arc volcanism. And then we find carbonate. And so that was just really surprising. That would have suggested that they would have been a relatively new feature that should have formed at depth, not at 2,000 meters or greater. So there's more to the geology of the region than this fish biologist surmised at the beginning.
You're doing great. So, like I said before, every time we see a shrimp, I get a viewer commenting shrimp plus plus, and there's been a lot of that. And one other viewer commented, in some programming languages, you can use counter name plus plus
Yeah.
to increase the counter by 1. So shrimp plus plus would mean to increase the shrimp count. Thank you for that insight. And thank you to all of the diligent shrimp counters on the chat. We appreciate your work.
One thing, if you find carbonate on the surface of the seamount, it doesn't mean that's made out of carbonate.
Let's
It might
see.
be just
Max, you also got a shout out all the way from Crockett, California.
Nice.
If it's old enough.
Thanks for the shout out.
Not because if you had a ring around the mountain like that, you would see a sort of a ring around the mountain, which you don't see in those pointy seamounts. You saw maybe on the east.
So we have a
boulder field over here or
Ooh.
something. I see an Atlantic cam.
cool.
Does that look like it's cracked, that rock?
Oh,
Oh. That's a cool looking rock.
it is a cool looking rock. So we have a question from one of our chats concerning our conversation about micro and macroplastics. Does the Nautilus have any sensor aboard to identify if microplastics are present, and if so, density?
Not to my knowledge. Could we zoom in one, just zoom in a little bit on that for me?
Most studies that have evaluated
like the 50 meter kind of
microplastic content in sediments, for instance, take cores or box cores, tube cores of sediment and actually process those in the lab to determine the quantity of plastics. And then a variety of procedures are used to identify what type of plastics those are, including spectroscopy and things like that. But I'm not aware of any sensors that can readily identify the microplastics in the deep sea directly.
Thank you.
There are some Raman spectrometers that have been put on ROVs and things like that, and they might have some ability to do that.
Yeah, we had a Raman spectrometer on Herc 2 years ago. Something like that, I think.
For vent stuff, or
For rocks, yeah, like
for
rock
rocks,
identification, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was big. It was quite a project to get that installed.
Yeah. Did you have to remove all the baskets and things for?
We actually put it on the back of Herc.
Ah.
So we mounted it facing down on the very back and made big mounts for it onto the frame.
Okay.
And then we actually craned it, held it with the crane so we could
bolt it in.
Yeah, clamp it on, and
wow.
Yeah, it was great. It was collaboration with some NASA folks and some other consulting contractors. It was pretty cool.
See, and then we also have another question from the chat. I think Menzel could answer this. What are some Palawan words that we've learned?
For the guy who's so excited about the shrimp, the day before yesterday's word of the day was arur for shrimp, and Amanda seemed to have the pronunciation down. If you want to hear her say it.
Reun?
Yep, that's pretty cool. And then today's word of the day is sulang, meaning thanks.
You see that, Josh?
Yeah.
Do they thanks in Palawan? It's a much longer word, but conversationally, sulang is.
Zoom in, please.
Sulang for that. Thank you.
Sulang for asking.
This is looking like a stocked sponge, maybe in the genus Hylanema. Oh, you're not on SPL, Greta. There you go. Yep, that's what we've got.
Okay.
If we have any more zoom, just to look at the stock really quickly, oftentimes colonized by hydroids and forams and all kinds of other organisms. That's great.
Hiding behind that rock there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come wide, please. Sort of getting stuck on the rock. It's gonna have to get up and get ahead here a little bit.
Well, it's definitely getting steeper now.
Yep. Yeah, it's making me have to go a little bit quicker up just to keep up.
It's another Peniagone there.
You have a serial number on this rock?
Mute your mic.
Just, yeah, mute there. Yep.
Just, I mean, I've acquired so many pens. I used to,
Take your pick.
yeah, well, before they kept disappearing, but now they have returned. Oh, I don't like that one.
Just moving up the slope.
Yeah, do you want to do big moves?
Let's do it.
All right,
Big moves.
big moves. Which way are we going? Bridge nav. Good afternoon. We're ready for a ship move. We'd like to go 50 meters, 205.
Speed, 0.3.
Yeah, is the speed 0.3? Is the speed 0.3? All right, thanks.
I just didn't hear you say it. I wasn't sure.
All right, so hello and good afternoon, everybody. If you're just joining in, we are currently doing our watch change. So we got a new crew in. Do a little bit of introductions before we start. I'm Blodak. I am the SCF, and yeah, maybe we can work our way towards you, May, the scientist.
Hello, welcome Ali. My name is Meg Lubetkin, and I am the watch lead on the 12 to 4 watch and the science manager on the ship.
Hi, I'm Taya Jagadatspalak. I'm the data logger for the 12 to 4 shift.
In your front row, this is Megan Putz sitting in the nav seat.
This is Jake Bonney. I'm sitting in the Herc seat.
This is Sarah Sargent. I am in the Atalanta seat.
And this is Erin Rainey, and I'm in the video engineer seat. Almost forgot what seat I was in.
We can switch.
Well, there you have it. That's your crew for this afternoon. We'll be with you from 12 to 4.
Scooting down a little bit.
Okay.
We also have one other scientist with us who is just sitting in with us while our other Pickrick scientist is still filtering. Do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Sure. So my name is Greta Sartori. I'm a researcher at the Palau International Coral Reef Center, and I'm here in the second science seat today to give a hand with a camera and spotting some critters down here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Greta.
Thank you, Greta. And Else, who's normally on our shift, is tirelessly working on filtering our eDNA samples, right?
Yeah, hopefully she will be able to join very soon, and maybe I can finish when she finds a good time to stop. And so soon you will hear from her as well. But for now, I'm covering for her. And what we are doing with our eDNA project is to monitor the vast waters of the Palau International Marine Sanctuary by actually collecting the environmental DNA, which is dissolved in the ocean. So as we shed our hairs and our skin, animals in the ocean do the same, and all these bits and pieces are left behind into the water column, and that's what we target with our collection of water. And then we filter this water to concentrate this DNA on little filters that are going to be much easier to move around, and eventually we'll ship them to Stanford University. They will get them analyzed and tell us what lives in the Palau National Marine Sanctuary.
Thank you for that great explanation, Greta. Yeah, and if you're joining us, we are currently 2,825 meters in the sea, on the bottom of the sea in Palau, working our way up. You know what?
Oh, there's something to look at, Jake.
Cool. All right, you can push in there.
Just a little red jelly.
Oh.
Nice.
There are a lot of little red jellies in the deep sea, and it can be very challenging to identify them, but getting good imagery can help. Though this is not my area of expertise. Jellies are hard because they are so squishy.
They're very hard to collect
Yeah.
intact, so the imagery is key.
All right, come on.
Nicely done.
You can go.
Oh, there's another one.
Fish off to starboard as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a good fish.
Yeah, let's get a nice zoom.
This is a Bathysaurus mollis, a type of deep-sea lizard fish. These fish are ambush predators. So what they do is just sit here very, very still on the sediment and wait.
Very fast.
Yep, they can move very fast when they need to for short bursts, but they don't swim for very long distances. They get tired.
There he is again.
Yep, see, told you it wouldn't swim very far.
All right, push in there.
Wow.
And you can see all their little sharp teeth. So many.
And the color is just, it's like pearl white. Oh.
Yep.
So we got a question out here from the chat. They're wondering what that ball is that's between Hercules and Atlanta. Is that a floater?
Yeah, that's a one